Nairobi, Kenya, in a family of we are 5, including my parents. So we are 3 children. I'm the second born, and went to high school in Moi Girls, Nairobi. Moi Girls, Isinya. I don't know why I usually confuse the two. And yeah, that's Beatrice. I'm a media creative by profession. Yeah, so that's basically the background of who I am. Well, when I went to high school, I finished high school, I passed very well. Unfortunately, I could not go on, so that's where my life started as an entrepreneur. I went to college, although I passed to go to university. I studied media law and journalism, and after a while, that's when I decided to go into entrepreneurship because I could not really finish what I had started in school. So I started working. My first job was in an online, actually an art gallery, and I was a sub editor. But because I didn't really have a lot of business sense in it, I didn't really go on with it. So after a while, I decided to start my own, and I started a company called Global Essence. I thought of an idea, and I wanted to start an online magazine, but I really didn't know how an online magazine works. But I had the idea, so I gave my parents the idea. I told them, hey, you know what? I have an idea of starting an online magazine. And they were really happy, they were supportive, although they didn't really understand what an online magazine entails, but they really, really supported me. I think I was 20 years old then. So when I gave them the idea, they asked me, so how is it going to happen? How are you going to work on it? How are you going to get the funding? And that's where now I really didn't know what to do, but basically my first company was called Global Essence. Yeah. Well, as I said, my story is very long. I don't know, we'll have to take 3 days here. But yeah, so I started Global Essence, as I said, and at least I got a bit of funding. That was in 2006. And the main problem, the main challenge that I had on Global Essence was as much as I had staff, I usually used to outsource staff from all parts of Africa. It was an online, actually Nairobi, Kenya. It was an online magazine, and people used to send me stories all over Kenya. And I can see one of the challenges was lack of finance. That's a big challenge when someone is starting a business. Lack of finance, it can be a hurdle. And number 2, I didn't have a lot of experience in business, so I was just starting up. So I didn't know how to bargain in terms of putting adverts on the online magazine, what to do. So it was quite a challenge. So after a couple of, I don't know if I can continue with the story. After a couple of years, actually not a couple of years, I didn't really stop my dream in Global Essence. It had to stop. The company had to stop because I didn't know how to go on about it. But when I got the experience, because I started working in different media houses, and because I was really, really good in creativity and ideas, I got poached in very, very many companies, including Royal Media, which is one of the biggest media stations in Kenya. So I got into the creative mind, and I really wanted to be the best that I could be in that sector, because I knew I was really good in it. So I continued with Global Essence. That's when I started Global Essence Productions, and we started producing TV ads for different countries in Africa. Then after a while, now I was declared, I was told that I will be the African Development Ambassador ambassador for East, Central, and South Africa, and that was a really big thing for me. I cannot really say that they are weaknesses. I don't call them weaknesses. I call them challenges with solutions. I started when I started Global Lessons Production, and I was called to be the ambassador for African development. I decided to do something for the youth, and I started Young Media Foundation. Young Media Foundation is it's a platform for the youth to talk about themselves, what they are going through our online radio station called Sema Radio. And of course, as you've asked, what are the weaknesses, which I've said they're not weaknesses in what actually I think they are challenges, and you have to come up with solutions. And one of the challenges is I think I work really, really hard. That's a challenge for me, because whenever I start something, it has to be perfect. It has to work. I can't really say that I'm going to stop, because when I start something, it has to work. Because I believe in myself, and I believe that God gave you a mind to come up with whatever it is that you can come up with and make it a success. So Young Media Foundation started in January 2013 on my birthday. That was January 12th. And as I said, Young Media Foundation is all about giving people a chance to air out their voices and cries through Sema Radio, which is an online platform for the youth. And other than that, we have 3 sections in Young Media Foundation. One is media, the second one is CSR, and the other one is health. In CSR, what we do is we go out to the villages, to the rural areas, and identify schools and build classes out of bricks. So that's one of our programs called Bricks to Schools. So we build schools, gaming classes out of bricks in rural areas. And in the health sector, we usually go and visit children who are affected with cancer. And we usually go to Kenyatta Hospital and make our donations. We go out with the youth. And all I can say about that is that teamwork makes the dream work when it comes to Young Media Foundation. When I started working on my own, when I started business, people used to tell me that I can't make it, when you start something, it can't work, you have to have a lot of money, you have to have capital. But when I went on and on over the years, I realized that you don't really have to have capital to start. And that's something that the young people don't understand. When you have an idea, it's all about having an idea. When you have an idea, approach someone who you think can help you as a person and can help your idea grow. You can approach probably your relatives, even someone in government, anyone. Just approach them. I mean, there's no door that you can't knock, even the presidents. You can knock any door. Go and present your idea, and even if 1 million people say no, there's always one person who will look at your idea and say, wow. So that's one of the misconceptions, and that young people, they just don't understand that you can start something without capital. As long as you have an idea, that's the best thing. You can just sell it and go and present it to anyone, and people will actually sponsor it. Okay, when it comes to my personal life, people say I don't have a life, but I actually do. When it comes to balancing work and your personal life, what you do whenever the week starts, because for me the week never ends, but people say it starts on Monday. On Monday, I always have a plan on what I'm going to do during the week. And in the plan, you have to have time for your family, time to go out with your friends, time to go for a massage even. So you have to write down, hey, on Thursday or even Monday, I'm going for a massage. So I usually have a plan. I usually plan on what I'm going to do the whole week. So I do have a life. So to those people who think I don't. Okay, what I can say is that Africa is the next, actually it's the big thing, because Africa is where luxury is. Africa is where you can come and enjoy yourself. I mean, there's so much potential in Africa. So I think the youth here the people here in Africa, people actually out there don't realize that Africa is the most luxurious place ever. And what I'm doing for people to recognize what is happening in Africa, I'm using SEMA Radio, which is part of Young Media Foundation, to talk more about Africa. As I told you, SEMA Radio's slogan is "Where Africa is one beautiful country." What we do is we have managed to talk to a lot of youth here in Africa, and they have the SEMA Radio as a platform to air out their views, to talk about the positive things that are happening in Africa. Because when you go to the West, they're just talking about the bad things. Oh, trust me, 90% of what is happening in Africa is I can't even imagine. It's just the best. It's luxurious. It has so much potential for investors. It has the best, if you want even friends here in Africa is, I can't even, when I start talking about Africa, I get passionate. So I'll just be here and there, I'll be everywhere. But what I can say is Africa has a lot of potential, and it's not as the West always portrays it to be. 90% of what Africa has is actually extremely good. Before I go to my final remarks, as you can see at the background, this is we are at Riara University. Riara University is actually a very new university, and Young Media Foundation wants to collaborate with Riara University because they're starting a journalism school. So we are working hand in hand with the journalism school to actually bring out talent in Africa, not only in Kenya. So Young Media Foundation, SEMA Radio and Riara University are working together to bring out talented people in media. So my closing remarks are that when it comes to success, people have their own way of viewing success. But this is how I view success. This is what I told someone just the other day. Success is not when it's not only when someone has a lot of money. Success is when, let's say, Mama Mboga has sold all her stock. To her, that's success. Success is when you have passed your exams. That's success. So success can be viewed in so many ways. Success is when a hawker has sold all his goods. That is success. So success can be viewed in so many ways. So success is not only when you have made so much money. So what I can say is a lot of people are successful in Kenya, in Africa. So what I can say is never, ever, ever give up. Never give up, because the minute you give up, your dream just stalls. So whenever there's a hurdle and you have an idea, you think you have a hurdle, something has gone wrong, please do not give up. Trust you me, I've never given up. I have gone through so many hurdles in life, but one thing that I've never done is given up. Never give up on what you're doing. So that's my final remark to everyone out there. Yeah. So to talk a bit about Young Media Foundation, Young Media Foundation is a platform for the youth to air out their voices and express their opinions, and also bring out their talent through SEMA Radio. Our contacts are, you can go to our website on www.youngmediafoundation.com, and our email address is info@youngmediafoundation.com. Our Facebook page is Young Media Foundation, and also our Twitter handle is YM Foundation. So right now we're doing a competition where young people are sending in their music through our email address info@youngmediafoundation.com, and the reason why you're sending in your music is so that we can shoot your video for free, and it will be one of our projects that we will be doing every single month. So good luck to all people, aspiring artists out there.